Welcome back for those who are joining us on the second segment. Good afternoon from Kampala, Uganda. It's Africa Maria with my colleague INNOSSETU. As always, this is the second segment of Straight Talk Africa here on Blackwood Fire Network. For those who are just joining us for the first time in a day, of course, welcome back from your weekend. For those who are joining us for the second time, welcome back from that break. And of course, without wasting your time, let's dive right into today's topic. Of course, in the news, uh, European Union and Kenya signed historic partnership to boost investment and trade. Now, Kenya and the European Union on Monday today signed a long negotiated trade agreement to increase the flow of goods between two markets as Brazil pursues strong economic ties with um, Africa. Of course, of recent, um, the Economic Partnership Agreement will give Kenya duty free and quota free access to the European Union. It's the biggest export market, while European goods will receive progressive tariff reductions. Now, the agreement is the first broad trade deal between the European Union and an African nation since 2016, and it follows a spending spree by China on the lavish infrastructure projects across the continent. Although today represents a moment of monumental promise, it is also the beginning of a historical partnership for historic transformation, of course, in Kenya. Now, those were the words, of course, the Kenyan president said. He respected this day and, of course, says that it will go down in the books of history, of course, throughout this time. Of course, when we talk about African countries' pattern or signing treaties or having a partnership with the African countries, of course, when Kenya signs trade treaties with the European Union, it opens up several opportunities and, not to forget, challenges. We know that most people are focusing on the positive side, which they claim, but one thing we know for sure that these treaties usually the negative aspect of these treaties overweigh the positive sides. Yes, I know that such agreement can stimulate economic growth by increasing market access for Kenya products in the European Union. We know this can also lead to higher export volumes, job creation, and enhanced revenue for, of course, business. But we know, like we said, that there is no Muzungu in Africa for Africa's interest. When these people come here, they will come in this guise of helpers, but we very much know in most cases they are only focusing on what is important, for them, because we know the economy of most of the European countries is going down, more especially UK. We know their currency, we know the economical statuses in UK by now. So apparently, I feel like they have to, of course, send branches to all over Africa to strengthen their economical hold back in their homeland. Now, a lot of people have been pinpointing out, in Kenya, they have been pointing to Kenya, um, claiming that the president of Kenya is a puppet, is somebody who is being used, of course, for various reasons. And I give an example of the situation, of course, in Congo, and the situation where he has to, of course, be the mediator and the middleman between some agreements that, of course, were supposed to commence in Africa. Apparently, he, of course, made some of the presidents to convince them that are working together with the European is a good cause. Now that we know that Europe has been struggling so much to have its influence on the Africa's soil. We know that with the great difficulty, the European Union expanded its partnership with African Union at a summit in Brussels in February. So we know that economy trade, with the, of course, the theme economy, trade, climate, health, and migrations being the major challenge for their relationship. We know that Russia, after that, a week later, Russia invaded Ukraine. And we know that both countries are important with supplies for many African states, which are now threatened with high prices and shortages. Um, Apparently, when we look at European Union, we are not going to just focus on particularly one country, but we are going to look at most of the countries that fall under the umbrella of European Union. Now that we know that, of course, we know that many African countries after Russia invaded Ukraine, of course, faced a problem of threat of high prices and shortages. And we also know that Russia has military engagement in Africa. That, of course, and had a lot of military engagement in China. In Africa. We know China, of course, has also challenges with huge investment. And we know that most of these people also are up to political and financial costs. With this partnership, they're always focusing on the political and the financial costs to start with. Now, Kenya's biggest, I don't know why Ruto thinks it is very important for him as the president of course, Kenya to sign these treaties. The first time I remember, his speech was tremendous. You remember his first speech when he was talking about those, I think at that time, Torre was trending a lot throughout. His speeches, he made it clear that we do not need a Muzungu to succeed, if I remember. And at I remember you said one time that dude speaks things that everyone wants to hear. When he's with the Africans, he talks that the Africans want to hear. I remember you're the one who told me. So when he goes outside Africa, he says exactly what those people want to hear. So you were like saying you're a little bit confused with where he falls or what he believes in. Like I said, signing these treaties, these are trade signing these trade treaties or agreements. I'm not saying they are completely, barred. Of course, people need to trade. Like I say, at times, we haven't, we don't have that huge as production arena when it comes to Africa's production, but the negative side of this whole outweighs the positive side. We know that such treaties foster diplomatic ties and cooperation, of course, which also allows these people to politically involve themselves in Africa's political issues. Of course, they engage in mutual beneficial trade agreements. And of course, we know that this one gives them the right to involve themselves, because you cannot invest somewhere that you cannot secure. At times, and these are the reasons why we see our governments in Africa failing, because you allow the external pressure, you allow people to decide for you because they have invested in you. They become like the pillar that you stand. And if at all you give someone that liberty, if at all you allow another country to be the pillar of your economy, that means they're going to control and apparently run every decision, decide every decision, economical decision, political decisions. But yes, this is what Ruto agreed with when he signed for this, and he knows what comes with the signing of those treaties. in Africa. Um, we know that trade treaties actually, if at all we had these trade treaties, we know that this would enable the exchange of expertise and technology, which supports advancement in various industries. We know this can lead to shared innovation, improved efficiency, and development of sustainable practices. When we look at what we say, exchange of expertise, it would be of greater importance if at all the expertise of Africans is embraced with no question. But like I'm saying, this is opening a gap for apparently the people in the European Union to have a free access in and outside of Kenya. These treaties, we look at them as things that are easy and simple. But these treaties come along with a lot of documented stuffs that people don't usually see. If I welcome you to my house, Setu, if I decided that we are going to share things, that means you have a right to say you're not going to sit over there because we apparently share. I would do when Ruto won, when Ruto won the elections, he didn't win, whatever. Kenyans say he didn't win anyway. But when he became the president of Kenya and had that first speech, the speech that he had with the Africans and other African leaders, I expected to see, because if I quote and if I remember very well, he was talking about Africa coming together, them coming together, uniting with the to gain that economical strength. I was expecting to see Ruto, and of course, signing treaties with the various African countries, because each African country is rich in different ways. Though we have one common thing, and those are the minerals that apparently are almost in every African country. So we are versatile. So the versatility of Africa gives us that special need for each other to bond together in order to create a strong pillar of Africa's economy. Now, if you see Ruto probably going ahead and signing treaties with the European Union, more especially, I'll call it a trade treaty with the European Union, in this state that most of the African countries are waking up to embrace the new era of change, the new era of economical power, the new era of Africa's free trade. And then Ruto goes ahead and signs these treaties. I don't know why he's so trembling. I don't know what he's seeing. I don't know. But one thing I know, something that comes with these treaties, usually that most of the African leaders want, is the military defense that comes along. Because each person who invests in a country wants to make sure they protect their investment. And these are things that a lot of African leaders have been doing. They go ahead and do treaties with different people because they want that military support. They want that strength. They want to stay in power. They are afraid that probably next time if we go for elections that may not go through. They need that political support. It's not that they are desperate for this. Because after all, most of the products, most of the goods that are sent to Africa are substandard. After all, most of the goods that are sent to Africa are used goods. We don't receive brand new shit. Even cars, we receive used cars most times. It is only cars that come, for special people. Most of the cars that people use are used, Fords and other things. So, if at all, why should Ruto think this is a very important thing? for Kenya. Given the fact that before he came in power, we also knew that Kenya has a huge date with the Chinese people. What do you feel about that?
Mhm.
With the Chinese people, and and we also know that for some good time, China has been, of course, trying to have its print down in Africa, which has been a threat to the European Union. And now Ruto still one hand with the China, another next time with the European Union, and the next time he's talking to American. Bro, it's so scared, I guess. Um, so why do you think Ruto signed this treaty?
Um, Africa, and actually, like you said at first, European Union is trying to create a competition platform
Mm,
alongside other other European countries,
mm,
other Western countries, other countries that are outside African continent that are having a stay in Africa. A case in point, Chinese, the Russian. So EU or Union is trying to create that competitive ground amongst these other people that are in Africa.
mm,
We know that Africa, of course, Europe needs Africa. So Africa matters to Europe. Geographical proximity, colonial history, and a wide variety of human relations make Africa an important partner for Europe. So the EU wants to benefit economically from neighboring continents' riches and
mm,
its great potential to produce green energy. In
mm,
addition, Europe has genuine interest in Africa's political stability as it seeks to ward off um, spillover effects resulting from forced migration, armed conflict, and consequences of climate change.
mm,
We know that African societies, in turn, also have an interest in cooperating more closely with the European Union as they expect more jobs and prosperity from upgraded partnership.
mm,
This is how Africans look at Europe and European unions, even presidents in Africa.
mm,
They don't look at what European Union is aiming at. For it, it is aiming at political part, that political issue in Africa. To have, however much it says economic partnerships, trade, simanya historic partnership, trade, fucking bichi, all these things don't work. For it, it is focusing on political will
mm,
because it knows that in African countries, very many African presidents they have that fear.
mm,
They are frightened to be taken down. They need
mm,
political support from EU and other countries like Russia and others. However,
mm,
Russia don't. Sometimes Russia and China they don't look into the politics of a country. They don't care
mm,
as long as they what they accomplish, they finish up their goals in Africa. But we Africans, we are looking at expectation of jobs, of course, in this
mm,
trade they are going to bring. But in reality, people are going to become more unemployed
mm.
because these partnerships,
They don't support the local people.
yeah,
They don't support the poor. Those partnerships don't support people who produce or who
mm,
do trade at the local market.
mm,
That's when you see that prices are going to increase to
mm,
make sure that they target the other audience, forgetting
mm,
that people don't buy on that international prices.
mm,
You understand? Yeah, I do
mm.
agree.
We know that if we look at if we look at EU in Africa, like I say that Africans a normal or an average African may not gain in this in Kenya. Kenyans may not benefit in this because all these are for diplomats. For them, they sign out things in public, in camera, behind the bars, behind the windows, they do other things. Otherwise, if all these agreements, these partnerships, these African presidents are signing with Western countries, if at all they were working, we wouldn't be suffering in African countries. I was watching a video on TikTok. Though there is a girl, she's a Ugandan lady. She's in US. Is it US? Was it US? UK? Why UK? One of those two countries, but it was a Bazoon country. The girl was trying to expose what those people were going through. I think we were watching that video together. We were watching Bazungus on streets. Very many Africans, they don't believe that even the Bazungus, they are always on streets. They sleep, some of them sleep on streets, some of them they're just helped out. I think that Sibararu, when they are not mad, in Africa, we are used like people who those stay on streets. It is either ghetto or mad people on streets. So I've been watching a video. So the girl was trying to expose, was calling out all African leaders that however much the opposition or other African leaders you're calling out for help from these people, but they are
They're
still
also
the same people.
struggling.
Yeah, they're struggling with life.
Now you
What?
can see like the situation in the UK. Centers of Western so value obwavu bubakuba.
Yeah.
Tunuli embeera eri mu Russia kati ago gonna all the countries that are under EU they are not fine. So I agree with you.
So what does that imply in African countries? That however much you call out to these people, they have aims to build their economies, not Africa. They are doing, they will create, of course, that partnership for trade, for whatever goods they want to trade with Kenya or other African countries, because of course EU is not in Kenya only. But they are the same people that are going to determine the price of the goods that are going to be out of Kenya. But the Kenyans, the Kenyan government,
will not determine what is coming.
What is coming? So the entire process is calm. They are the only people that are going to gain in this, just to milk Kenyans and actually average Kenyans for this partnership kind of agreement Kenya is saying today.
And most of these agreements that usually most of the trade agreements that Africans do sign are not constant altogether. Anytime these agreements can change, the biggest question should be if they change, what state is that country going to, of course, remain in? That will the change of these agreements, of course, affect them. All right. Most of we know that this kind of agreements, of course, will cause dependence concerns. Increase. We know that most of when we export a lot to the European Union, this may make African economies more vulnerable to fluctuation in the European market. External factors such as changing of the of different economical wheels and markets. And we know that most of the African countries, as you're signing these treaties, for you have little to say. We know the moment these people touch you, two things will definitely happen. Uh, Things may seem to move smoothly, but at the end of it all, when you try to withdraw, then bam, they hurt you where it hurts most because for them, they are users. We know that this kind of truth is also, we know that conforming to the European Union standards and regulations can be expensive and time consuming for African business. The need for infrastructure improvement, technological advancement, and compliance with the stringent quality control may pose challenges for certain industries. Just like you said, for them they always decide, because this is not the first time we are signing trade treaties. But one thing because first of all, people cannot bring their products here if at all governments have not signed treaties. But majorly, we have received the substandard goods for throughout the centuries. That's why even we have things that, of course, is in a special way they are made for the African people. You'll read at something when, of course, the coalition is like only for African countries, and this is coming from a specific country, to the point that if you try to sell this in that very country, you can get arrested or your license taken away. So there is nothing like we are going to have an extreme care when we do this, but rather we are going to be exploited anew. I see Kenya, of course, being exploited because throughout time, it is very hard for us to do trade. Those people trade the things they don't want. They don't give us things they want. They don't give us things that they are still using. When they are done with the things, when they don't want stuff, you don't throw them away. They are brought to Africa and again reused. We reuse, it's like we are the recycle bin where they dump, and then, of course, we buy. Now, when we talk about this trade, of course, I want us to look at the agricultural concerns. For a very long time, we've been discussing about genetically modified things, boy. And we've been saying we have got a lot of African agricultural farmers who have so very much concentrated on the production for commercial use, which has also been the number one. It has been the number one thing that has brought lack of food in Africa. That people have not so much concentrated on producing the African traditional food that actually Africans feed on. Now, when we look at such kind of treaties, definitely, you know what is going to happen. We demand, let's assume the European Union demands that Africa should, of course, Kenya should be exporting watermelons, well, fruits, or whatever. I see the biggest population of Kenya, Africans being, of course, so money minded. I so very much see that people will even concentrate on producing products that are on demand for the European Union. Of recent, um, we realize that there is a shortage of food in Kenya, and actually the world is not talking about it. That where the prices of food has hiked to a very, abnormal price, and this is still because a lot of people are growing, food for commercial purposes. Most of the Kenyan young farmers and usual farmers are growing food for commercial purposes. Now, this treaty extends these. I foresee people concentrating much on those, of course, commercial production. And then still we are going to see Kenya for some good time has been involved in genetically modified things. And we all know very well that most of the food that is usually exported outside Africa is either organic or GMOs. Now, and when there is too much production of something, at the end of the day, even the local people tend to consume that very thing, because it is not only on the international market, but it also begins to be circulated all over the country or that geographical area. So I see, yes, Kenya's economy changing. I see Kenya's economy changing. I see their agriculture system changing to meet the demands of the European Union, because we are not going only to look at other things, because first of all, this is the production Africa does. We don't manufacture cars that we are going to send cars to European Union. We don't manufacture phones that you're going to manufacture phones. Agriculture is the backbone of Africa. So I see this is going to be the number one export for Kenya. Putting labor aside, of course, I see this is going to be the number one export, agricultural products. But where does that leave the indigenous Kenyan? Where does that leave the Kenyan people? Where does that leave Africa as, of course, a country? Now, I would be so very, very pleased if at all these kind of treaties were treaties that at least are signed with the African Union for Africa to have this kind of course, trade. Now, when you look at this kind of trades, they always hinder the way of production. That is one. When we look at technology, most of these European Union countries are way above when it comes to technology. I don't see African countries producing technological things that are going to outcompete some of these technological equipments that have been in existence. And because we are so much involving ourselves with those other people, it hinders us on what to produce. Because basically, like I always say, there are always a lot of sanctions that are put on Africa's production. You are not going to produce phone if UK is saying I'm going to export phones. So they'll put sanctions. They will say you shouldn't produce phones. We are going to take your watermelons and we are bringing these used phones over there. That's a sanction. You sign a treaty with Russia. Russia saying don't produce no military weapons. We are definitely going to be supplying our weapon. You are not allowed to produce because this is a treaty. If you produce, that means you will not be able to import these products from these countries that you've signed treaties with. Signing treaties with European Union seems to be a good thing, but it hinders the reproductive levels or the reproductive potential of African countries on the continent, which of course leaves us, because actually there are those people who are benefiting. For them, they are benefiting more than we are. Aside, of course, the minerals, I know now the major thing basically is the minerals and the agricultural products. Though during these treaties, there is a belief that we are going to exchange technological technology bullshit, which is definitely not true. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Which technology are we gonna exchange? Which technology is Kenya going to exchange with the, of course, with the European Union? Well, I don't see that. I see Kenya exchanging whatever, something else, probably agricultural products, maybe some other things, but technology, no. And maybe they're going to receive technology. They're going to be buying technological things in exchange with these others. We've also seen that the tariffs are going to be cut off, that Kenya will be able to explore the market or the trade at a very low cost. And those others also, their tariffs will reduce to almost nothing when they are importing their commodities. You know what comes along with taxes that fall with importation? Um, First of all, when we are, if I was a business person, I think I am. I am, right? Thank you. The business person I am. um, I would, if I told I'm gonna do business with someone, if I told it's gonna, if I'm gonna say we are going to remove tax on a commodity, we must remove tax on a commodity that has the same value.
Mm.
That has the same value. You cannot say, I'm removing tax on, something that even costs nothing. You understand? Bukasori, no jago tax or mamotoka.
Mm.
That does not balance. Apparently, you are importing your cars You are importing your cars, you are importing your expensive things, and probably I'm importing my cheap things which come with almost zero point 0.5 tax, and yours comes with the 98 tax. And then apparently you say, all right, so since you're removing your zero point 0.5, you ought to remove our 98. That does not make sense. There is no balance to that. What no balance? Yeah, we need it. How about you need it? There is no balance. There is
Chikuganya ukukora. Kora gwe.
it is not balancing. If at all we are to sign treaties, and we say we are going to remove tax, if at all you are removing 5%, then we should also remove 5% from what you're doing. And you have to go. But when you look at the bigger picture, Africa itself is not benefiting from this tax-free trade. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones who are importing, they're the ones who are exporting more expensive things to our country, and we are exporting actually cheap things which almost cost nothing when it comes to tax. But yeah, I know. That's why I said I know the but I know African leaders sign these kind of treaties for their own personal or for their own political influences and gains. We know that, of course, when we sign such kind of treaties, there is always loss of policy autonomy. Now, the trade agreements often come with conditions related to economic policies that African nations may face pressure to adopt certain economical reforms or policies, of course, dictated by the European Union, which could limit their policy autonomy. Like I said, most of these people usually, after you sign that, they start dictating apparently everything. We don't, they decide, I'm supposed to make sure that I ensure I secure my investment in your country. You have to comply with this and that. You have to comply with the other, which basically leaves Africans with no option than to be puppets to these, countries that, of course, they signed these uh, treaties with. We know that also this kind of treaties also bring inequality within our countries. Now, the benefit of trade agreements may not be evenly distributed. We know this for sure. Like I was saying, it may not be evenly distributed. First of all, like I said, imagine I'm going to export coffee, or I'm going to export watermelons. Of course, they are perishable. I'm going to export them probably to the United States of America. I'm using that as an example, but I guess let me use the EU country. I'm going to export this to Russia. Check it there. So I'm exporting watermelons to Russia, and
Nobody cares about your no good watermelons to Russia.
no, don't worry. Keith, you're here.
Yeah, just for a little bit. So I got to get out of here. You guys,
How are you?
how you guys doing today? You good?
We're fine.
All right. Let's see.
Say something before you leave.
Oh, I hear you guys talking about trade. All trade deals to Europe benefit Europeans, not Africans. You don't build anything, so you don't have anything of value except for maybe the groceries.
Uh-huh.
And, and most Europeans do not want any genetically modified foods because there's no nutritional value. It's not even food. See, the idea
Mm,
they making fake food and bringing it to Africa, there's no nutritional value to it. It's not real food. It's
mm,
no nutrition in it. So it's nothing.
mm,
eating shit that is not even giving you no nutrition. It's not helping you out. So it's what the Europeans always do, make chemical the non-natural. They don't like anything nature. It's crazy. Um, but these trade benefits are not benefiting nobody in Africa because you don't have any manufacturing sector, and that's why they want to keep it that way. You want to keep you poor because if you start creating manufacturing, you start creating wealth within the continent. Now you have stability, and you can really negotiate for fair deals. Like Africa is used as a dumping site. They dump old cars, old everything up in there. Then it's disrespectful. The cars that they dump in there are overpriced. Like me having to buy cars for the studio in Nairobi and buy for the farm that I bought in Kenya. It don't even make any sense. The same car here would cost maybe $1,000, but in Kenya it's like 10,000, 11,000. Some old car that's 7 years old. The prices are even disrespectful to Africans, and Africans don't, they don't really know. They don't protest. Like, you send me this old crap, then you charge me 3 times the price of it. The cars in Africa, these old cars, you guys are paying 3 or 4 times the price of the vehicle, because that means that's the disrespect of people around the world towards African people. The constant disrespect. But most Africans are so badly educated, they don't even know it's disrespect. The leaders don't care. I get to stay in power. I get to steal and be in power. I'm 70. I've been here 40 years. I can't say why Kenya's still poor. It's not my fault. Idi Amin and the British. That's the crazy stuff they say. Like Ruto, you talking about Kenya? Ruto was a no good puppet when they put him in there. Or you talking about some speech he made? That speech is all phony. These puppets are always gonna say something good. What are they delivering? What are they action? Never worry about a speech. Africa's political system is so controlled by the Europeans. Only real leaders you got now, the 3 leaders from Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. That's where you see their economy growing. They're changing the school systems. They they get to grow their hair, etc. Now they're not gonna be ashamed to be African. They can actually grow their hair. This is wrong. They shouldn't grow their hair. Instead of colonized in the mind, they should grow their hair like African people. Should be ashamed to be African. Colonialism has destroyed the African mind. Everybody's ashamed to be African. Everybody put value in everything white. And like you guys were saying, you guys were looking at a video of white people being on the street. Yeah, on the street. Most black people don't even know that white people are impoverished, live on the street, live in tents, got no place to wash their asses or their bodies. African, like, what? Because you look them as your God. Your mind is completely, I haven't did any cursing, I'm gonna say this, but your mind is completely fucked up. You look them as your God. You on the street, you can't even understand. What? Not my God. He's on the street. He's not doing good. Oh, what? How can this be? How can this be? Like, my Jesus is on the street. Oh, my Jesus. Oh, not my Jesus. How can this be? So your mind can't even understand. Your mind is already traumatized by seeing white people die straight because they've been made your gods in your mind. You can't fathom having economic problems. It just blows your mind. You can't even relate to it. You guys on TikTok looking at, there should be millions of videos on TikTok of white people all struggling. You know what I mean? White people coming to me big. Can I have something to eat? Can I have some money? No, you can't. No money. Get away from me. You got no money. Get on out of here. White people, Africans, it's like, what? It's white people. The white people begging. Just like when I hired Joby, I would take Joby, be on the phone with Joby. I'd be certain cities. I know I travel all over the place, so I'd be in certain cities talking to Joby, and I'd turn the phone so she could see the white people begging. Because Joby didn't even know that white people begged. He's like, I've never seen it. Oh my God. I said, I know. That's your African mind. You colonized in the head. You believe people are your gods and all this old crazy stuff you believe is not factually true. So, like, I was looking at some video a young lady shared on TikTok too. This is Nigerian lady. Some white guy came to visit Nigeria or some, I don't know if it's Nigeria, someplace in Africa, and they were doing a tribal dance. This white dude was doing a tribal dance with the Africans, and she was reading the comments. These comments are so terrible and disturbing. Oh, he's like Jesus. Jesus, come save us. Everybody African in the comments are calling the white man Jesus. Come save us. She was like, this is disturbing. Exactly. The African mind is completely entrapped, colonized. You know, not to bring up Seto, maybe not no more, but his mama is. Mama's like Seto's mom. They minds are completely colonized. So, oh, they got that video. I wonder if I can share that video they had a couple of years ago. It was even the Kenyan government was embarrassed because they picked a homeless, and he's from the state I live in, the state of Florida. There was this homeless guy that these African pastors from Kenya came and got this white guy and took him to Kenya and had him pretend he was Jesus. And white and black people like, oh, it's Jesus, it's the Lord. and he was a homeless guy from America. This homeless guy that took up the street, took him to Kenya. People run around, oh, it's Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Like, and so because it went viral, this went viral. The Kenyan government so embarrassed how backward the people are. You made these African people backward because you haven't given them good education. So they were so embarrassed they deported the fake Jesus back to America because they went around the world like, what the hell? Look at these black people with this homeless man talking about he's their Lord. Like, oh my God. Let me see if I can find that video. It's got to be on YouTube still. But they were so embarrassed they deported his ass out of the country. all the kids running around. The Lord is Jesus. Yeah, they were taking this homeless guy. But the government got so embarrassed because the video went viral. Look at these Africans and their minds. The minds are completely fucked up. That the mind of children, these are adults running around this white man. He's the Lord. He's Jesus. And so that video went viral, and it had to end up deporting the white guy because the Kenyan government was so embarrassed that these grown ass people chasing a homeless man from America talking about he's the Lord, he's Jesus, Lord Jesus. I'm gonna pull up this video. I know it's on YouTube still, but they got so embarrassed because it showed the mindset of Africans, the childlike mind. Now the government only got embarrassed because the video went viral. People were like, what the hell? Some homeless man from America. They run around talking about this is Lord, this is Jesus. They're like, what the hell? So I can find that video. That shit was hilarious. I was like, man, black people mind are fucked up. They not ready. They can't fight nobody. Their minds are gone like children. But it was hilarious to see. If I can find this video. So because the video went viral, and so I'm sure it's when Uhuru was still the president of Kenya. Let's see.
Yes, sir. 20.
There it is. Right, I found it right there. So we got how much this video is embarrassing. This shit is funny. It's found it so
Are you
easy.
sick of having to do your webinar, wasting tons of time on troubleshooting with it?
One second. What's the video? So let me.
I said I'm going to be at the Ramon.
Let me get it. Let me share this video. I don't like. I want the news version. They got this guy reporting on. I don't like this. I don't like this cool guy talking about. I had a me and him went to war. Let me see here. Me and him had an argument, but he's the one reporting on it. But it was everywhere in Kenya, and so they ended up deporting this guy because it was so embarrassing that the Kenyans they running behind this homeless man right here. They running behind this homeless man here, telling he's Jesus. He's the Lord. He's Jesus. These are people's parents, man. It's why Africa is in the state that it's in. The minds are completely gone. There's not too many Marias running around Africa. The most bad these people are grown people with children. Teach their kids this crazy shit. You wonder why you get dominated. But look at this. But the Kenyans got so embarrassed, the government, they deported this white man. They got him out the Let me know when you guys can see my screen. Let me know when you guys can see my screen.
Yeah.
See it? All right, here we go.
I originally saw this video and I didn't know what African nation it was, where they had a white Jesus riding around and also white Jesus dancing with them, and they were so excited. But then I got the email and it told me they were from Kenya. When I saw this footage, I just shook my head. I say, "Oh, come on, brothers, come on, sisters, you."
Yeah, even you report. Yeah, I reported it, but all my channels got taken down. But this is so embarrassing that the Kenyans kicked them out the country. You're like, what the hell is going on with these? Here we go. I don't want to hear him talking. Let's go to the video. So they got this white man. They're like, he's Jesus. It's a homeless white man from America, and these goofy niggas here believe this is Jesus. This is how messed up the African mind. Now, this could be Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria. Doesn't matter where you put this homeless white man, all these Negroes would do the same. Their minds are completely fucked up. All throughout Africa, you could do this shit. I don't care if you drop this no good white man in Zimbabwe, Angola, these goofy niggas would do the same shit. Because their minds are, you can drop this cracker in front of damn Seto's mama's house and she be out there dancing with him. You know, it's the Lord. His mama go in and get her, his mother go in and get her shoes on and start dancing with this homeless man. This how destroyed the African mind is. And you wonder why they conquered. This is how destroyed. And this video went viral. They deported this white man because they were so embarrassed how backward their people are. They ended up deporting this white man. He ain't do nothing. They just came and they put some dirty robe on him and he pretended to be Jesus for these goofy Negroes. So they put some dirty robe on his ass and had these goofy morons dancing the street. That's why they don't make cars and make advanced equipment in Africa, because this is the problem. This is what they do. That's why I don't have any advanced technology in Africa, because this nonsense, their minds are destroyed. You have advanced technology, and this is what you believe. You believe some homeless man from America is God. Look at this.
Oh, yo. Come on, yo. Come on. It's that was some sad footage. Very sad.
It was sad because it went viral. It went viral. And the Kenyan government was so embarrassed. They know their people are stupid. You kept Africans stupid. That you pick any white man, they were, it's the Lord, it's Jesus. It's the Lord, it's Jesus. I told you, if I take that same dirty white man and put him in front of Seto's house, his mama's going to come out and dance with him. It's the Lord, Jesus. It's the Lord, it's Jesus.
Baby Jabba, you're welcome on our live. Keep it here killing us with laughter.
Lord,
to slavery.
they can slavery.
And also those who
Yeah.
manipulate Christianity with the manipulation of white Jesus.
Yeah.
Now,
Sure
the brand of Christianity that the white man taught had white Jesus attached to it. But we know that just based off biblical scripture, we know through
he didn't exist, moron, and you know he wouldn't have been white because at that time all of that part of, because at that time, all that part of Africa was black. Let me see if I got hugging with white Jesus. They go dance. And everybody dance with white Jesus.
Any TV, even a national TV broadcasted any TV.
It's the Lord. It's white Jesus. Oh, get this commercial out of here. Everybody laughing. Jesus appeared in Kenya. See, everybody laughing. Jesus appeared in Kenya. The only way they got rid of him because they get out of here. Get Trump. Get pissed.
He says,
you see, everybody's laughing. Africa, it seems to be touring Africa. He said, Jesus appeared in Kenya and South Africa. He seems to be touring Africa. He laughing. This is how bad. So he must have went to South Africa too. They say, and South Africa and Kenya. So this white man was all around Kenya and South Africa. So you can parachute this white man in any African country and you'll get the same shit. Ridiculous nonsense because the African mind.
This is terrible.
See, a pastor in Kenya claims he has found the Messiah. Here's Jesus. He found us. Now remember this thing when they did the story. This was a homeless white man. He was homeless. That this black man. You come to Kenya, we'll give you money. You pretend to be Jesus for us, okay?
But come to Kenya, they give me money.
So they put this white man on a plane, gave him some old dirty clothes, some old Jesus-looking clothes. He's smiling because the rest of his people's minds are fucked up. It's the mind of an African. You cannot keep any continent and your mind is this fucked up. Your mind is this fucked up and backwards. South Africa didn't get rid of him, but Kenya deported this white man. He got him out the country because these videos went viral. Showed how childlike these people are in the mind. And it was, of course it was embarrassing that your people are childlike in the head. That's why when everybody says, how is Africa getting dominated? Because they're childlike in the mind. The children, they run after a homeless man. He never meant calling them their God. Because some goopy pastor and found some white man in America and brought him over and put some dirty clothes on him.
Mm-hmm.
He invited the man he believes to be Jesus Christ. He believes to be Jesus Christ. And see, that's how messed up the mind of African is. They should know nobody was white in Africa at that time that this Jesus is supposed to live. He would have to be black, look like them. But they're so fucked up in the head, they don't know history. Couldn't get any white guy. But they don't even know that. They don't know their own African history. Jesus was in Africa, Northeast Africa. And at that time, there were no white people like you see there today. That was all African land controlled by black people. But they don't even know that. That's so messed up in the head. They don't even know none of this. So they got some homeless man running around. They think it's God. It's exactly. This has been trending on social media. Photos of the Caucasian male believed to be the Messiah have been making waves online. Exactly. They were getting laughed at. So that's why they got it. See, I told you this thing went viral. And Kenya and the government knowing that he's not Jesus, they know that's how they rule Africans. They keep them docile and stupid. But this became such an embarrassment to Kenya around the world. Like, what? You got grown people running behind this white man talking about he's God. What? This dude's a homeless man. But like you can't make this up. Because has been making waves online because the Kenyans were the laughers. Because you can put this white man in Uganda, put him in Congo, put him in Ghana, put him in Nigeria, you'll get the same shit, same response. Put him in Kenya.
Speaking with the sheep, Jesus came dressed in biblical.
So he's in South Africa. Jesus must be on an African tour. Yeah. Africa, where you only Africa, we see this backward ass shit, and that's sad. On Africa, we see this backward ass shit. It means their minds are so completely colonized and gone. You couldn't put no shit like this in America. They laugh, man, get this crazy shit, or rush, get out of here with this. But in Africa, he's the Lord, he's Jesus. But they would make there's a bunch of them like this. I just want to show it's crazy, but you know, it is what it is. There's a whole bunch, but like I said, they told you this was an international sensation. What? And the only reason why I bet he ain't good that day. Yeah, you know, black people feeding. He's a homeless man that they got. So you know he ain't good that good. Come to my house, Jesus, I'll cook. My daughter will cook. My daughter will cook your favorite meal. Yes. I am the Lord. I'm the Lord. I'm the Lord. The shit better be good. I'm gonna burn you in hell. It's gonna be good, right? better be good. I'm gonna burn your ass in hell. Hope he didn't. That's any virgin. I don't know what he did. He was there. The government. He didn't last on the government. So that video went viral. Kenya government so embarrassed. They deported his ass. They deported white Jesus out of here. They deported white God out of Kenya because they were so embarrassed. This showed how backward their people were, how indoctrinated their minds are fucked up. But that's all of Africa. You can put that shit in all because you see he was in South Africa first. It said he was doing the same shit in South Africa. You take any white man, put him in a fucked up, dirty robe, and walk through Africa. Look, oh, I'm seeing Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, nigga, it's Jesus. Yeah, you got goopy ass Museveni talking about it's in the Bible because it's not gonna be true. It's in the Bible. This dude's a whole president of an African country. This moron. It's in the Bible. This dude ain't never graduated high school. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. And you know he's an idiot. Listen to Museveni speak. Everybody around the world knows he's a moron. He's an idiot. Do people even know that he's an idiot? I think the educated ones do, but most Ugandans probably know Museveni's a moron. you can't sit and listen to this speech and know he's an idiot. He's an absolute moron. He's an idiot. Because they had Museveni on Al Jazeera, like he went to somewhere in the UAE, and they were talking about, hey, what have you done for the country? The country's impoverished. It's worse off since you got it. He's talking about the Arabs were telling him he couldn't be disrespectful because he's an Arab country. They got real power. They would have said, hey, you better shut the fuck up. This ain't Africa, nigga. So he was very respectful. You've been in power 40 years. Your country's worse off with you in it. Why is that? It was the British. Idi Amin. That's what he started saying to damn Al Jazeera. It was Idi Amin. It was the British. Say, but you've been there 40 years. I know. But I know I've been 40 years and country's more fucked up under me. But so what? So what? My people are stupid. We say my people are stupid. They don't know. They don't know nothing. Right? They asked him a question about something, and she was funny. And he should see the white people's face. And he said, yes, because it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. You're like, this motherfucker's an absolute moron. That reminds me of the Good Times episode. Yeah, I'm talking about JJ. When they had white Jesus, they replaced it with the black Jesus. TV show, yeah. And the mom got mad. Yeah, because we're colonizing the head. Yeah, that it's about that American, yeah, talking about Good Times, American black show. But let me see if I can find it, because we've been traumatized in the head too. Because I knew when I got there and met my ex-wife, and I went to their church, they had a white man in that white Jesus picture. I said, they tried to act like they knew. I said, why you guys got a white man up in here as your God, this fake white man? We're gonna change that. They never change it. I said, why y'all change this fake picture of this white man up in here? Why you don't change that at least? Well, you care. You don't believe in the religion. No, the religion's a lie. But at least, if you're going to depict this guy, why don't you make him black? If he existed, historically, he would have been black. He would have lived in Northeast Africa. He was African. He's black. If he really existed, he wouldn't have been this white man from Europe, from England. You got some white man from England up here. Some white man from England with blue eyes and blonde hair. That's a blue-eyed guy from England. That's not your God. that picture is mind control, it's brainwashing. It's a lie. So, but we can understand we've been enslaved. We were forced to believe in that. But remember, the people that they took out of Africa, we were different than being colonized. Most of us fought against the religion. Most of us still don't, especially in Brazil. When they took the Africans out of Africa, took them, they still got their culture. That's why you'll find most African, the deepest African culture in Brazil. You see the deepest, because remember they pretended to become Christians, and they just kept a lot of African traditions inside their traditions, so the white man would know that they were practicing on the plantations. So that's why I told, and I've been all throughout Africa. Like I said, the most African place I've ever been is in Brazil, not Africa. The most African place I've ever been is not in Africa. It's in Brazil. The most African place I've ever been was because that culture was sustained itself. Especially when you go in East Africa. East Africa was constantly rated first. West Africa, you'll find more of the tradition. But what you looking at, Marie? You looking at something? What you looking at on your phone? What bit are you looking at? I know you're looking at a bit. I see your face. What you looking at?
I'm looking at you on another word on that phone. I'm looking at this video when you're talking.
So then you have I said the most African place I've been with was not in Africa. It was in Brazil. Because those people kept their culture when they left out they were taken off the continent. Let me see if I can find it. Find it. It was Brazil's first capital. That's the blackest city in Brazil. And it's they have Santeria, they have the Yoruba culture, they have the Igbo culture, they have the Ashanti culture. And so what they did is merge all those African spiritual systems into one. And it's heavy. You see them, they're doing their own thing, got the drums beating they all up in there. You go, you're like, man, this is kind of awesome. As long as you're not Christian, you're not going, oh, these black people devil worshiping, oh my God. You've been all ridiculous because they end up practicing their communion always. That's the damn. That's cannibalism. That's their culture. But yeah, black people ain't even figured out what's about drinking the blood, eating the damn body, you eat the flesh. They don't even know when you do Christianity, you're cannibalized it. Eat the body. He doesn't eat no flesh. Drink Jesus' blood. He's drinking blood. Somebody what? Together. That they practice cannibalism. You're drinking blood and eating the body. See, this is the body of Christ. Like, ain't this cannibalism, man? What are you talking about? They drink his blood, the blood he drained on the cross. I'm drinking blood. Yeah, Africans ain't got no clue. They talking about African rituals. These people doing all kinds of satanic. It's a satanic ritual. They don't even know that Christianity is satanic. Where it comes from. You imagine somebody tell you to drink blood. Let me drink the blood. You got all these Negroes in these Catholic churches in Africa. All these churches, they got the same ritual. All the churches come from Catholicism first before they split apart into their different denominations. But it's all the same communion. Eat the body of Christ. You get eat no bread, you eat the body. Let me eat this nigga's body. Drink his blood now. Drink the blood. Drinking the blood, like you any common sense that came in your mind. Why would you have to eat anybody's body, drink anybody's blood? It's supposed to be God. You're doing a satanic ritual. You're not supposed to be drinking any blood or sacrificing anything. The Creator is bodiless, it's formless. Nothing you can give the Creator of the universe that could ever enhance. You don't want your sacrifice. The Creator, now you don't drink nobody's blood. The actual Creator has no body. It's all mind, all mental, all energy. It's all mental. You ain't got no body to be drinking nobody's blood. Crazy. Drink his blood. Oh, okay, cool. Shit, let me drink the blood. Bam. That hit the spot. You got some more blood there, Reverend? You got some more blood, Reverend? Preacher, priest. Let me give him more cup of that blood. More Jesus blood. So, ideal that you even drinking somebody's blood, you should be able to have enough cognitive distance to wake up and say, hey, this can't be right. No God wants you to drink their blood and eat their body. You're doing a blood sack, you're doing a blood ritual, which is bad. Okay? Creator universe said, no, I think when I made the world, I want these people on earth to drink my blood and eat my body. Just common sense.
Made enough sense.
My mom had to wash all those shot glasses after church communion. You drink all the juice, you drink all the blood up. Yeah, they give you juice until I get blood. They give you that grape juice or that red juice, but it symbolizes his blood because back in the day, in the beginning, they used to drink actual blood like crazy. What I'm talking about. So now they give you a piece of bread and they give you some juice to symbolize it because they know people would wake up and say, why the hell am I drinking blood? How am I eating somebody's body? What? Your mind would start, this don't make any sense. What kind of religion is this? It's a lie, stupid. That's what kind of religion. It's a lie, dummy. But you'll have a white man come to your town, you dance behind them. It's the Lord, it's Jesus. I'm gonna see if I can give me a white man. I'm gonna fly him to Uganda and get Seto's mama to give him all his money. He give it. It tells tithing time. If you tithe, go knock on that door right there. That's Seto's mama. Hello? Jesus, I'm here. Oh, Have you been good? Have you been giving your money to the church like you're supposed to? Oh, my son gets paid next week. I give his money to the church. Oh. Give my son's money to the church. He gets paid on Tuesday. Okay. Just make sure I get it. So it's crazy. See it. What's happening? So when you get Woody Meyer, goofy ass was there. Blackest city outside of Africa. Shit. Let them talk. I gotta go take me a damn shower.
It's Black Friday. Content creator dog.
I gotta go to New Orleans. Here we go. Let me take me a shower. And Baptist, yeah, all these goofy churches do it. Communion. Because remember, all churches came from Catholicism. You got the start from Roman, then they broke apart. But first, you got the first was the Orthodox Church in the East that broke away first because they said ain't nobody gonna be no pope. Somebody gonna be over everybody. Some dude called a pope and all it. Because remember, Pope was just a scam. He's just a new emperor of the Roman Empire. So they made called him the Pope, and the other church, the Orthodox Church, said, "We're not following some one dude. You crazy? There had no Bible." Then all the other ones started breaking apart in Europe. Started breaking up. You had Baptists, all the Protestant movements started from Lutheran, Anglican, English, whatever they call that. All these goofy denominations. All these. Hey, everybody know ain't got to do with the creator of the universe. It's all confusion. Does God have 30 different denominations? Just like in Islam, you got all these goofy different denominations. You got Sunni and Shia, and out of those Sunni and Shia, you got 30,000 different Islams. It's all a lie, made up garbage. God, the creator, doesn't deal with confusion. But he will have all these different denominations to worship one thing. Whether it be Christianity, Islam, you got all these different denominations. You got Catholicism, you got the Orthodox Church, then you got the Baptist, the English Anglican. The only reason why the English got a church and went against the Pope is because the damn king wanted to have another wife, and the Pope told him no. He said, I want some more booty up in here. He said, nah, you can't have no more booty. What you talking about? That's the only reason. People, that's why the English church, the Anglican church exists, because Henry VIII wanted some more coochie. He couldn't. The Pope told him, "You can't have no more coochie." And you can't have no more coochie. He said, "Okay, I can't have no more coochie. Okay, I'm done with the Roman church. I make my own church." These are facts of history. He got rid of the Catholic Church because he wanted some more coochie, and the Pope said, "No, you can't have no more coochie." He said, "Okay, forget to that. I'm done with this goofy church. I make my own church." Yep, you go look that up. You gotta go look up Henry VIII creates the Anglican Church of England. It's a fact. He created it because he couldn't get no more coochie. The Pope told him, no, you don't get no more coochie. He said, okay, I'm getting rid of this Catholic Church. Get out of here with this goofy shit. Create my own church where the king is the head of the church. Then we got the English Anglican Church because he wanted some more coochie. And he's like, I'll get rid of this goofy Catholic Church. These are facts. All these goofy denominations, you think it's about God and all. Got to do with no God. It's all fake. It's all nonsense. All nonsense. This dude gets to change church because he wanted to make a whole new church because he wanted some more coochie. Yeah, that's right. Damn. All right. Let me show this. My thing. I think my video messed up. Okay, now this is let me go. You guys can see my screen yet. The thing is acting up. I go take a damn shower. Oh, my video's buffering. Nah, I don't think it's gonna work. My video's acting up. My internet's jacked up.
No fun to where they get on.
Forget my There we go. That's good. Okay, there we go. See, you see, they still got the traditions. This is all the religious traditions. Spirituality is still left. Transatlantic. But they named this transatlantic survivalists. Like these are Africans coming from slavery. And a lot of Africans, and I didn't even know that when I first went to Africa. Most Africans didn't even know that Africans were taken off the continent. They wouldn't even taught that. Like what? They didn't even know Africans in America were taken off the continent. They didn't even know. When I first went 25 years ago, Africans didn't even know that. I was like, huh? You don't know about the slave trade? No, what are you talking about? Yeah. Damn. We said many nations, one people. Remember, these people were taken from Angola, Congo, Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Guinea. So it said many. It said many nations, one people. So they merged their cultures all together as one African people. I think too messed up.
Ecuador is undeniably and unapologetically built on the wisdom, in the struggle, and by the craftiness of our ancestors. It's also overflowing with contradictions. Oceanfront favelas, a chocolate city with a Christian city with Afro-Indigenous religious heritage.
Exactly. Christian city with Afro religion, yeah, because they didn't accept the Christianity.
Why is this city so black?
Why is the city so black?
Where did these contradictions come from? And where is this city headed? Join us today as we explore another part of the African diaspora. Salvador, Bahia,
Brazil.
Brazil. Salvador is a beautiful coastal city, a metropolis with 4 million active people calling it home. This city comes alive on weekend nights. Its restaurants, basketball and football courts all filled as the evening ushers an eager breeze up the coast.
Salvador Bahia is a premier city, a city of first. It's the first region that the Portuguese landed when they came to Brazil. It has the very first slave trading market in the Americas. The original sin started here. It's also the most chocolate city outside of Africa. In fact, it's intensely chocolate, 80% chocolate to be exact.
The original sin.
Has these statistics to its unique specialness, its qualities.
Also, Brazil is the second biggest African country outside of Africa. Bigger than any African country besides Nigeria. The biggest population of African people outside of Nigeria.
But that's not the tale of the city. The tale of the city is the people, the vibe, and the love that exists here for Black people.
Prior to the arrival of the European, The lands currently known as Brazil were inhabited by semi-nomadic hunter-gatherer tribes. There were about 2,000 tribes in all, with numbers upwards of 3 million that covered the land now known as Brazil. All of that changed when Portugal took the shore. Salvador.
So remember when the Portuguese came, they killed off most of these indigenous people, and they couldn't work like Africans. The Africans are the strongest people on the planet. You're the best. So they had to go to Africa and get these Africans to come work these plantations and work the fields.
On a small peninsula that separates Todos os Santos Bay from the Atlantic Ocean. On the northeast coast of Brazil, Salvador da Bahia became Portugal's first capital in the Americas. 9 years later, they began their run as the world's most notorious human traffickers on the planet Earth.
It is not the messenger that is important, it is the...
More white people trying to send their spiritual. Please, white lady, don't tell me no spirituality. Go away.
The Portuguese are the OGs, originators, and primary benefactors of this cruel dehumanization known as the transatlantic slave trade. Portuguese vessels carried roughly 5.8 million people into the worst nightmare imaginable, European slavery. This was easily the lion's share of the total people taken from the motherland. But this, my friends, is only the beginning.
My name is Tânia Neres. Eu não sou de Salvador, mas eu moro em Salvador há 17 anos. E Salvador, eu utilizo a palavra Salvador como salvamento. Salvador me salvou.
And understand history, family. You understand history? The reason why the Portuguese was because the more about power they had all this wisdom from Africans how to finally sell and leave Europe. So this the African knowledge turned upside down on its head that allowed these Europeans to now go back into Africa and then enslave the same people that educated them how to navigate the ocean. So this falling of a black empire in Spain, or what you call the Iberian Peninsula, now allowed the Europeans to finally leave Europe. Remember, they never left Europe. They were impoverished, poor. So when the Africans lose power in Europe and Iberia, all the knowledge that they learned through the African, now they can go back now and enslave the same people that educated them.
Eu era uma mulher negra e não em São Paulo. As pessoas me acolheram muito, vindo eu uma mulher sozinha vindo para Salvador para trabalhar. Eu não vim para Salvador curtir, dançar, passear, eu vim trabalhar e fui muito acolhida. As pessoas em Salvador, elas te convidam para comer na sua casa, elas batem na sua porta e digam: trouxe comida, venha na minha casa participar da minha festa, tem tudo isso. Eu gostaria que você viesse aqui. Então, isso a gente começa a se acostumar, porque em São Paulo as pessoas abrem uma...
Now, I want you guys to understand why black people will come back to control the world and everybody knows it and they're scared of it. We're the majority on the planet. We're fucking everywhere. We're everywhere. And I'm talking about just everywhere, like other people. Like you got the Indians, a lot of places, you got the Chinese. Everywhere. Our numbers are the only numbers on the planet that keep increasing. Everybody else is in a demographic collapse. Chinese are dying out. The Indians are dying out. Only ones that are gaining in birth rates are the African. And it's because it's African woman. She has the best genetics. So no matter where you find her, in Africa, Brazil, America, the birth rate is constantly going up. But everybody else is now decreasing. That's another reason why they're scared to death.
E digo: oi, não tem. É assim. Sim, São Paulo é assim. Dizem que o litoral faz as pessoas serem mais felizes. Nos remete à família e à África. E tudo isso faz com que a gente comece
You got people that they're from Africa. They know they're from Africa.
Porque é se olhar no espelho e entender o quanto a gente é importante.
Unlike the confusion they got in America, they're not trying to tell you they are indigenous Brazilians. They know that they're African. They're not trying to be pretendian. They know they're African.
Dentro desse espaço chamado Salvador. Porque em outros lugares no Brasil, a gente, por exemplo, em São Paulo, a gente não percebe tanto por conta de são muitas pessoas. Uma casa, um chinês, uma casa, um italiano. Então, em Salvador não. Todos são pretos.
Everyone is black. Exactly. So she can talk about in Sao Paulo, the new capital in Brazil, you'll see Chinese people, Japanese people, other people. But in El Salvador, Brazil, it's black. Black.
Yes. Todos são pretos. E isso faz com que
everyone is black, and that makes us say, I'm at home. Everybody's black.
There are several different reasons why Bahia, more specifically Salvador, has been deemed the Black Rome, known as the Black Mecca, or better still, the blackest city outside of Africa. Several different reasons why. Here are a few of the majors. The Portuguese were the first on the scene to start raping and pillaging Africa for its resources.
The beginning of the transatlantic slave trade.
Look at this wicked ass beast right here. This wicked motherfucker here. This wicked ass Pope told you that Africans are supposed to be slaves. This wicked bastard. Pope Nicholas V, this wicked ass no good. He's supposed to be a person of God. These wicked ass no good popes. They were sleeping with women, all kind of wicked shit they were doing. But you got the African now believe that these wicked bastards have anything to do with the creator of the universe. Ooh, bless you, Lord.
Eyes at the feet of the Catholic Church.
Catholic Church.
Alfonso V, King of Portugal, approaches the Pope regarding some lucrative opportunities he has newly discovered in Western and Central Africa. Pope Nicholas V's response was to issue a papal bull on June 18, 1452. It stated to invade, search out, capture, vanquish, subdue all sachems.
Not these are called Saracens. Brother, learn how to read. These are Saracens, not Saracens. Saracens were considered the African Muslims. And they wanted to reduce this. They would now lose power in Syria. They wanted to replace them and then enslave people.
And pagans whatsoever, and reduce their persons to perpetual slavery, and to apply and appropriate to himself and his successors the kingdoms, dukedoms, counties, principalities, dominions, possessions, and goods, and to convert them to his and their use and profit.
See, what does this group do with any real God? Tell you to reduce people, steal their land, kill them, and enslave them, but take all their shit. This is your fake church. These are your fake church. And they only talked about this papal bull the last year and a half, because it's all come to light that your church is wicked, has nothing to do with any God. It's about the white man and his goddamn control of the planet.
They showed up on the scene first. They were the first Europeans there, and they were the Europeans to take the most out of Africa. They took upwards of 4.9 million individuals from African soil and transported them to Brazilian soil. Now, of that 4.9 million, 1.3 million of these individuals went through the Bahia port and were processed inside of Salvador, which is the first slave market in the Americas.
There was a period of time in the 1930s where the president and the elite class started to make designations of the different regions in Brazil. And while many of the regions were pushing towards modernization and whitening, there was one region that was going against the mold, a region that already deeply identified and represented their Blackness. And due to that, The president designated this area, Bahia, Salvador, as black. About that whitening.
Brazil, upon abolition, was faced with a question about the future of Brazil.
You remember, they always want to whiten up their country. So just like the country to the south, called Argentina, they start mass murdering Africans. That's why you don't find a lot of Africans in Argentina. And so they wanted to whiten up the country. How do we whiten up these Negroes? How do we get rid of them? How do we get rid of these Negroes? We either birth them out of race, or we do, what we always do, genocide their ass.
Brazil, the future of Brazil in the world, right? And having been one of the last countries to abolish slavery and seen as backwards and inferior, they were grappling with what to do with this majority Black population. How do they move forward and become modernized and become comparable to Europe and other countries that was modernizing long before the abolition of slavery? So in Brazil, there was a concerted effort at the level of government, the federal government, to eliminate and exterminate the Black and indigenous population.
Exactly, exterminate them. It's always the thing, exterminate. Let me get up for this. I gotta get these guys. I don't want to do the whole thing. But yeah, it's about exterminating Black people. That's always been everybody's goal, to exterminate. That's a long video. That's been the goal in America and everywhere else. But when you talk about that, I got kicked off of TikTok yesterday. Just telling the truth. I was doing misinformation on TikTok when I was doing a show on YouTube, when I did a show last night, and TikTok took down the show. So I was doing misinformation, talking about the extermination of African people. That's what it's been to do to us globally. When I tell the truth about that, because African people are not supposed to know that. They're supposed to worship dumb shit, supposed to run around white people, talking about, this is the Lord, this is Jesus. That they were going to exterminate, because remember, Argentina had a big African population as well from slavery, but they don't anymore. So what happened to those Africans in Argentina? They were exterminated. The majority of our Argentina, you go back 20 years ago, was Black, just like Brazil is. But you won't see that today. They were exterminated. But anyway, let me go take a shower and get my ass. I got to get my ass down in New Orleans and all parts of Louisiana. Say much love. Let them get. What you doing, Seth? You back there cooking something or something?
Sorry?
What was Seth doing? Cooking something or something?
She got
making something.
Yeah.
I think on the video, yeah, they had a round video, a round face like Katie. When I first hired Katie, I couldn't see the rest when I first hired her because Katie's face is so round. I thought she was fat. I said, man, I gotta hire this fat ass girl. I thought Katie was really fat. And then I told Spike, I said, man, that girl gotta lose some weight. She kind of fat. Spike's like, she's not fat. What are you talking about? Because Katie's face is so fat, right? Her face is so fat. So round. So I thought Katie was fat. Because she asked me a question, because they asked me a question about Katie having sleep problems. She has sleep deprivation, right? I did. I did. So I said, she's having sleep problems. I said, I didn't know whether Katie was fat. I told Spike, hey, she probably has to go on a diet. That's why she's having breathing problems, because she's fat. I said, Katie's not fat. I thought Katie, because when we interviewed her, I only see Katie's head when we interviewed her. I thought she was fat. She was fat. I said, oh, man, this girl gonna have to lose some weight. She's too fat for the camera. I'm always be honest, Jack. I'm gonna keep it real. I said, you're going to lose some weight. She's too fat for the camera. Something ain't right. She got
keep. You have not shared us the pictures from Mombasa.
I don't got none. They ain't take none. They were too busy. I don't got none. I already told the family doing the show. Saturday night, but I'm telling you, there's not gonna be no pictures. I don't have none because didn't nothing go good. That power constantly went out. Then the power was going out. The water was messed up. It was just like a trip from hell. All they did was stay in the pool. I think it's mostly Katie and Shamani went out in town. You go to Instagram. They all on TikTok and Instagram doing their thing. But as far as anybody else, the guys stayed inside and brought. I know Joey was mad because the guys that brought a bunch of girls in there were trying to sweet talk the girls and drinking and smoking and shit. So, the girls got mad at that because they brought a whole bunch of girls and they were trying to, talk to. The girls got upset. The women got upset about that. So it wasn't a harmonious trip there, Maria. Girls are quite upset by all these other women. I said they can bring women into there that they're young, they're single. They're young and single, Seto probably would have been scared to talk to all those women. They're young, they're there talking, laughing, listening to music. Hey, young girls want to visit a mansion. Jibba jabba, they like going to a mansion and being in the pool, and so they bringing back girls from the from the city. Come on, girl, I got my little mansion out here by the water. Got my pool. And you got a mansion and a pool? Okay. So Joby kind of snitched on him. Joby kind of snitched on him and called me. I'm tired. They got too many girls over here and they smoking cigarettes. I can't do nothing about that. What do you want me to do about it? I can't do about them they smoking cigarettes. What do you want me to do about that? I got nothing to do with that. If I was young and I was in a mansion, I'd try to find me a bunch of girls too. Shit, I'm young. You go ahead and give me some girl. You want to come back and see my mansion, girl? Come on. I joke with Demore. Do not come back and marry. I don't know. I don't know if Demore is so young and quiet. Most African men are quiet, like a setter. Demore is like a setter. They all scared and quiet stuff, right? The other guy
is not quiet.
Not quiet? Okay, that's what I thought about.
Can't compare Setu to that guy.
Okay.
That is not quiet.
Okay. Exactly. Bring on the girls. So they had a bunch of girls in there. I would too. If I'm young on the coast and beautiful women around there, Boston's beautiful. Beautiful place, beautiful ocean. You got the palm trees, got beautiful black women, and I'm living in a mansion. Hey, girl, let me holler at you. You want to come back to my mansion? You got a mansion? Yeah, come on back. Come holler at your boy.
You go.
I just told them to be careful. I think they were probably drinking too much, but it was supposed to be a trip to ease. I want to be more like a vacation, them wind down, not gonna be nobody, do what you want. I want to get, because it's been a stressful year. It's gonna be a new year, get all the stress out, drink, have fun, party. They would party. When I called, party, music, people dancing all in the background, bunch of girls laughing. I'm like, God damn, so that's a good stress reliever, That's a good stress reliever. So, bring on the women. My boss got beautiful women, African women. You guys remember yesterday when I was on TikTok, that girl from Cameroon that called in on the TikTok? That young girl was beautiful. That young girl on the TikTok show when and Joey thought she was from Uganda. I said, no, she's from Cameroon, Linde. But I knew she was French speaking because I can barely understand her. But I'm gone, you guys. You guys go and do what you guys do. I gotta take me a shower and get out of here. You guys got it. I'm gone. Oh no, I never seen Maria party. Maria probably was like a mother's figure. Maybe better that Maria and them didn't go. I don't know if Maria drinks or not. I don't drink, but I would have been with the girl. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't know. So imagine they party around. Imagine they party around Maria. Maria's all reserved. Come on, loosen up, Maria. Yeah, she was pretty. I was like, yeah, that girl from Cameroon came on the TikTok show before they shut it down. The second show, she was nice looking. I'm gone. I'm done, you guys. Much love. I gotta go take a shower. Peace. Show back to them. Thanks. Yeah, I gotta go take my ass to them all around Louisiana. I go down to New Orleans.
All right, Keith. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. So I'm probably gonna have.
It's a pity that happened.
We probably have Maria and them go down to Tanzania. I know we're going in March. I'm not taking everybody this time. It's gonna take Joby and Wallace. And Maria and them want to come. I'll let them go too, but not everybody. This is gonna be about business. Nothing. I can't have a bunch of girls because I got Wallace. We're gonna be building that restaurant down there. I can't have nobody have a bunch of women and crazy stuff going on. This is business. I'm going to do Salam. I'm having fun doing Salam and go to Zanzibar. But we'll have pictures of Zanzibar, Jibba Jabba. So I will send them to Zanzibar. Zanzibar is beautiful. Beautiful. That's one of my most favorite places in the world. That's why I got everybody there. I went to first with the Zanzibar. I was like, this might be better than Hawaii. This is gorgeous. I love even with the tragic history of the slave trade, all that slavery shit there. It's kind of depressor, but it's just a beautiful place. I love Zanzibar. It's one of my most favorite places on the planet. I love that place. I don't know. I just feel like I'm in Africa again. Like, man, it's nice. Too bad we couldn't defend it. You know, do we had to do with these white people get their ass out of here? But you know, it's just a wonderful place. So much love. And if you guys realize, remember, it was a Ugandan that finally freed the Zanzibar from the white people and the Arab. The Ugandan guy came to Zanzibar and united the Africans, and they started unaliving the Arabs, started getting their ass up out of there. They were being disrespectful to African people. So it was a Ugandan that started that revolution in Zanzibar. Most Ugandans don't even know about that. There's a Ugandan that freed Zanzibar. Came there and said, "Hey, we gotta stop these white people and these Arabs talking crazy to us. This is our country, it's our land. We Africans." And so it was a slaughter. They killed thousands. They unalived thousands of Arabs, thousands of white people. You up out of here. You know. So much love, family.
Thank you.
And don't forget, Seth, I'm bringing that white man to your mother's house so she can dance. Mom, that's not Jesus. Seto, I read better than that. Don't you be disrespectful to Jesus.
Anyway, thank you, Keith. Thank you to Daba for being here, and everybody to the girls. Well, about the video Keith shared. Now, there is an instance that actually took place in Brazil. Sorry.
Talk about the incident.
Sorry.
For me, actually, I have a feeling that Brazil was part of Africa, because if you look at most of the forests in Brazil, it's a Camaro community. If you look at most of the futures in Brazil, starting from the forests, climate, you go to the kind of farming,
the food, the
when you look at as in ebisolo animals in that area, they are African made. So what does that imply?
Actually, Olara, when you get maapu z'ensi eyo zonna zifiitinga wano mu Africa. So yamenyekako bumenyezi n'etambula nga island negera. But Brazil, southern Brazil, sorry, the southern part of America, Botadeko Brazil in particular, had a big population of black people. And by the way, there are still some black Brazilians that are being, of course, discriminated for the fact that they are black. A lot of Brazilians were killed at a certain time. And, people were purposely moving whites from Portugal to come and depopulate the black race that was in Brazil at that time. But ne bakwata abeeru ne babayiwa from Portugal ne bajja ne babayiwa Brazil. Sorry. So basobole okumixinga, basobole overcrowdinga so that they can change Brazil from black to
and I guess it is the same thing they wanted to do in South Africa.
Yeah, it's the same thing, by the way, they wanted to do in South Africa. It's the same thing. You're right. They wanted to do this same thing in South Africa because we see around 1990 to 2000, mid 2000s, a lot of people were being imported. Let me use the word imported into South Africa because they wanted the population of South Africa to be more white than the indigenous South Africans. So they were deliberately bringing people from Europe to come to South Africa so that they can overpopulate or they can take over the big population of the black South Africans at that time. And the biggest target they were focusing on is depopulating South Africa through HIV/AIDS, of which HIV/AIDS did a great, tremendous, let me use that word, I'm sorry, a very great deal to depopulate the South African population. They brought homosexuality where at a certain time, the growth rate of South Africa's black population became stagnant because apparently being a gay or a lesbian or a homosexual was like an income generating activity that a lot of the poor South African men and women embraced this because it was of course it was like a business. They were earning from this. Sexual workers in South Africa, the homosexual sexual workers in South Africa were the richest sexual workers in South Africa. So a lot of people adapted this thing because they were getting a lot of money from it. So as Africans in South Africa were involving themselves in these acts, there are the Portuguese, there are British, and the Jewish, the Asians were entering South Africa. They were reproducing, they were expanding, but here, like I always say, you can never compete with Africa when it comes to population issues because no matter what they do at the end of the day. So I think what they did in Brazil is what they wanted to do in South Africa. Because we saw all the vision. Unfortunately, a lot of us don't usually focus on these kind of activities. I feel like when a country or a continent is poor, people don't think straight. And this is the scenario that happened. South Africa focused a lot on making ends meet. And they forgot about the legacy, the future, and everything. And they were exactly where the Mzungu wanted them to be. And but I see a lot of people are trying to wake up from this and probably fighting this, but it's going to take some time for African countries to stand and break free from all these, strategies that, of course, were laid to the African people. South Africa, Brazil, she's a Brazilian woman. So you can say I've seen a lot of Brazilian people who have a lot of similarity. The Brazilians have a lot of similarities more than any other people in America. They have a lot of similarities with the. I don't know whether Uganda. Portugal.
The Portugal.
Spanish. Vamos ver o espanhol.
Espanha.
Para Brazil. I know it's bad.
That is the Uganda way. People who speak Spanish. Spanish actually, but I'm Spain.
Kati ate abaportuguese n'abaportuguese boogera olulimi.
How about Portuguese language?
Gwe gugulinga. Gugulinga. Nze nkubuulira lwa boogera olulimi.
Pengea, yes, it was connected way back.
Yeah, it was connected way back. Pangea. In South Africa, was connected.
Some theories, more A-level. Geography, we learned about those forces that led to division of the earth to be divided, like Europe to go that side and Asia, and to see where they are like. Okay, let me check.
Portuguese.
But currently in Brazil, do they have these various religions like we have in Africa?
Yeah.
Or they have they have a native religion.
Christianity, Catholic, the
Portugal. Anyway, so anyway, guys, thank you for watching us today. Thank you for those that have been with us since the first session of our show today. Ajib Jabba, thank you so much for those great comments and teachings you have done today. Thank you so much. In the first hour we had, in the first hour we had Lando, we had
Jib Jabba
was there, of course.
We had
Joby.
K. Williams. No.
Joby was there.
K. Williams. Yeah.
K. Williams. And Keith in the last hour, the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
So thank you for those that have been watching on Facebook, and that is a Black Fire Network Radio station. Thank you for watching us from, of course, Facebook
page.
For those that are watching us on YouTube, it is Black Fire Network. Thank you for watching. For those that have been watching us on Twitter, it is Black Fire Network. Thank you so much. It has been me, INNOSSETU, with my colleague
Africa Maria. Have a blessed day. Bye bye. Okay, you.